Oh, so you didn't have it on? Can you make sure you remember that next time? Now it's on. All right. Good morning, everybody. Then can you also let everybody in, Norris? Let's get you settled here, man. You want to let everybody in? You want to let Wall Street Jesus in, Ranchero? All right. There is Mr. Jesus. And there is Ranchero.
What's cracking?
Hey,
Good
how's it
morning.
going, man? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Alrighty. Alrighty, let's get started here with the pre-market show. We got 15 minutes to the open. A lot is happening right off the open. So we're going to shoot through a bunch of things here. First thing we're going to take a look at is SPY here. So SPY from yesterday had the program up off the open, and we basically retraced all of it, if not then some, off the open here. A couple of news items came out. Wall Street Jesus, you flagged them in the room. What? It was an update on the war, correct?
Yeah, I mean the market mover basically is hotter retail sales. So basically the death of the consumer. Everybody was hoping see some slowdown in the consumer, so the Fed can stop raising rates. And we got kind of the opposite this morning with a strong retail sales number. So you have yields pumping higher, and that's ultimately what's putting pressure on equities.
Right. So if you look at those bonds again, the TLT is down here. Also, there was some sending Marines toward Israel will be on
Oh yeah,
warship,
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that.
That came out yesterday, but I guess that's just confirmation of exactly what they're sending over. So they're sending over, I guess, some troops, some Marines, just in case type of thing. I
Okay.
think.
And then
Um,
also, Jesus posted in the chat, U.S. restricts sale of NVIDIA made for China chips in new rules. I was watching the tape off the open, and somebody just came in like a fucking wrecking ball and tossed out 200,000 shares immediately. It went from 452 to about 446 in seconds. And
yeah,
now we're trading down to about 442. Some of the guys here at the office are thinking here that broke some kind of a long-term friggin' uptrend or some shit like that and start looking at it for a short position. But they also came out and said Nvidia doesn't think this is gonna do anything to them. Correct?
yeah. They said no meaningful, and maybe it's to stress near-term impact on financial results from this. But
Okay.
again, this is not. This headline's been used a few
Over
times.
and over,
Right?
over and over.
Yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. All right. Moving on here. Let's take a look at the banks here. Third quarter profits at BAC were up 10% from a year ago. These are very similar to the JP Morgan earnings and everything else. So it had, decent earnings report, and they're saying the same thing as Jamie Dimon said. We did this in a healthy but slowing economy that saw U.S. consumer spending still ahead of last year, but continuing to slow. They came out and said all their customer accounts, they're spending lighter or something like that. And if you take a look at the chart here today on BAC, you'll see it up. This is actually one of the only stocks that is up, but it isn't doing much here pre-market. If we take a look at the Goldman Sachs, I'll pull up what they said off of their earnings, but it's similar action as well. And they both have been trading in a big channel, and I'm over here kind of waiting until um, when they'll break kind of from this norm. If you take a look at the third quarter profits of Goldman Sachs, fell, continued its costly retreat from consumer banking and tried to recover from a prolonged slump in deal making here. So they actually reported worse, but the stock is not trading that poorly. So take that with a grain of salt. I have no idea here. Other than that, there's a couple other names here to throw out there from a small cap perspective. You take a look at that TPST. This thing is back up a good 3-4 points since where I stopped trading it. So maybe I'll get another short opportunity here. Other than that, what do you guys got, Ronchero? How you doing, man? What do you guys got over there?
I've been in a world of news blackout for the last 48 hours. So I've been on airplanes. But usual suspects. I mean, I don't know. I didn't see the headlines last night, but yesterday looked good. And then this morning, if there's some headlines, hey, shake them and get your trades. What I will say is I had a excuse me, a very interesting conversation with Silvers on Friday, talking about expected moves and how they're calculated. And he's got some really interesting stuff. Just as a quick idea is, what he's doing is going into toss. And if you go into whatever stock you pick, you go to the trade tab, you go to the options section, upper right hand shows you the expected move plus or minus for the day. And if you want to go out to a week, you can go out to a week. And there's a couple of keys to it, which I'm not going to give away in the free session. We'll cover that to our subscribers, but it works really well. The boy feels like he has a crystal ball a lot of times, and there's some cool stuff that he showed me, which I want to share with our group.
Indeed. And for those of you who don't know, Silvers is a trader in our Steam room, and him alongside a couple other really good traders here. This is where we spend all of our days together. Probably more than any other person in our lives we spend together in this fucking room. But we trying to make money out here. That's what we're trying to do. Wall Street Jesus, I'll kick it back to you for some noteworthy activity, man. What do you got over there?
Yeah, not really anything noteworthy activity as far as flow-wise. Yesterday, we spent the majority of the day, even though it was a bullish day, price action-wise, solely generated off the selling in VIX throughout the day. Flow was just not impressive at all, the call buying wise. The credit markets never confirmed yesterday's rally either. So it was basically just looked like playing off the VIX solely. So that's the main takeaway from yesterday. A couple of interesting things that came out this morning. A lot of us dorks really look forward to the BOVA Fund Manager Survey. It comes out once a month. Basically, it's a great gauge on sentiment, emotion, positioning from fund managers across the globe. And once again, they are pretty bearish, which will likely put in some sort of floor here, unless, here I go with that word again, there's some exogenous event that shocks the world and the market. But, normal price action, normal negative headlines here and there, you likely, and according to Hartnett, he thinks outside of the yields ripping, the 10-year ripping through 5% in the accelerated fashion, you probably got a solid 4,200 SPX floor that people look to build long off of. Okay. And that's based off people just being bearish, too negative out there. It's a lot of times that puts in a floor. It may not put in this runaway rally because you don't have everybody getting too aggressive on the short side, but everybody's skittish. Any little negative headline, any little weakness brings on some sellers, players trying to catch the downside. So again, that lean to that bullish bias, especially off these type of pullbacks. But I wouldn't get too excited on the bullish side either, because there's not a whole lot to get excited about.
I just thought of a nice adjective to call somebody because of that word that you love. Right? You love the word exogenous, right?
Exogenous.
Right. So if you call somebody exogenistic, that means every bad thing that happens in their life is not their fault, and it happens from some external factor.
Interesting.
Right? My trade got busted because of some exogenous event, right? Some shit that you can't explain. Now, if you take an exogenistic person, that person just never takes responsibility for the shit that happens. Anything that happens to this person is just an exogenous event.
It's just a great word. Like GJT and I, we want to buy a racehorse just to name it exogenous event. How great, right? You could see that horse Triple Crown Kentucky Derby worthy just off the name alone. Oh,
yeah.
Exogenous event. But it is a great word. It is a great word.
All right. What do you guys
buy a horse with GJT?
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. We want to go partners, and we thought.
I thought that was the more interesting anecdote to hold that whole thing.
We've been talking about it. Just to name it exogenous event, to be honest. But
yo, that's a great name for a horse right there, bro.
Is he? Did he just wake up, Ranchero, or no?
That's a great name for a horse. No. I'm telling you, that's a great name that you named it for the horse.
Yeah. I'm saying that's why we want to buy a horse just for that name, right? So I got a good idea, Luke. The light bulbs went off.
What you got?
We all go partners.
Yep.
Okay. You remember that player you were talking about in Puerto Rico at the track?
Yeah.
Okay. We all go partners. We put money in a pot.
Dude.
And we own shares of a horse.
Dude, that's called exogenous events. It's fucking genius, bro.
Right? Come on. We're all in the winner's circle. That's amazing.
I'll start sending you horses.
There's BJT's already pumped up in the room. Doing horses.
All right. We're getting. Oh, Jesus! We gotta turn down the fucking noises. Let's try. Let's
turn down for what?
Not the squawk. The squawk is good. The ticks. The tick.
Oh, the ticks. I could do that. Okay.
Let's do that. Let's try it out for a day, guys. The NVIDIA. Take a look at the NVIDIA here. 439.5. Ben, you seeing this? Yeah. Let's just watch this today. Fuck it, guys. I threw a 100 lot long SPY overnight because I'm an asshole. So I'm gonna obviously take the loss on that off the open, and then I got.
You held some yesterday?
I didn't hold. I covered everything, but I was so convinced that they were gonna gap and continue to go. I just threw out 100 lot.
Oh.
Now I'm gonna eat shit on this morning, but it's all good. It's all good. It is all good. What do you guys got? Anybody who's looking for flow? I mean, of course, you can get some for free over here for about an hour. The bigger recommendation would be to get your ass over to the Steamroom. You get a nice, cheap trial version.
Yeah, that's a good one, too.
If you take a look at Bank of America here, kind of retraced all of its positivity off the open. Oil's not really doing anything. If you take a look at gold here, gold is up a little bit. And then, of course, the focus today is yields, as Jesus pointed out. Divaj is saying Lucci SPY calls got done in by an exogenous event. You see what I'm saying? There you go. There you go. There it is.
I got the. I don't know if you've got my screen there, but I got the calendar for today. If anybody's interested, you got Fed speak all over the place. You got an bond auction at 11. And as far as economic numbers, nothing really huge, but you got a few of them at the top of the hour, 10 o'clock.
Okay. I think So we'll see if they change the tone here of this pre-market dump here. But this pre-market dump is pretty aggressive, and now we're at the bottom end of the range here. And again, the range has been pretty wide on SPY. You're talking about 431, 430 to about 437. So as they continue in that range, people get fucking smoke going for the breakers of that range. Don't get caught at these places here.
And we kind of wanted to see this. We were talking about it yesterday because honestly, and remember, Luke, you were talking because you had the short put trade on. The upside was kind of little. It wasn't that great yesterday, right? It was like a slow melt in the VIX, and so we wanted to see this VIX get tested, the sellers, and we're seeing that today. So keep an eye on the VIX and yields for a turn.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're open, guys. Here, that Bank of America here dumped it all out here, and then some. If you take a look at the Goldman Sachs, it's the same shit. Let's let this stuff calm down a little bit. Let's see where they shake out for the pre-market. NVIDIA here, I'm just going to kind of keep on the radar here because that's the one that I want to pay attention to. Interestingly enough, the Pinterest is up. One of the only names that is up is fucking Pinterest. Now, do I have any idea why?
Wow.
No. All
Maybe your daughter gets lucky, catches a buyout.
Catches a buyout from Microsoft on Pinterest.
Yeah.
We've seen that movie before.
Right. Okay.
Looks like a little NVIDIA nibbling October 440 calls.
Already. You kind of want to have both sides up because you don't get biased on the NVIDIA thinking either way. Plus, by the way, the premiums are fucking ridiculous. So at the money premiums,
right?
At the money premiums at $8, so you can't even trade the options here.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
All right,
Not
let's get the VIX
yet.
up here.
Oh, by the way, Ron Cherry, your Netflix was actually up this morning. I don't know if it's still up, but we'll see.
Saw that.
Everybody's
based on what some information, like I said, that Silvers and I talked about, some of this move in Netflix. At some point, you're going to catch a bounce, right? The shit just doesn't fall forever. It still looks like hell. It still, to me, is still short. But interesting to note some of the areas that some of these things check up and just catch a breath, right? So this is one of those spots.
Amazon here looking pretty weak here. Retraced the whole move from yesterday already. That shit ain't looking too hot.
You got calls active in that Tupperware. Must be squeezing TUP.
Fucking Tupperware. Let's take a look at that Tupperware here. Squeezing a little bit. Pre-market 190 to about 260.
Microsoft, some buying for earnings.
Let's take a look at the Microsoft here. Microsoft's got earnings this week then?
No, next week.
Next
week's the big week. Next week.
Yeah. XOM here kind of popping. So you got some money coming into oil. Take a look at the Bank of America here. Already back to 27 and change here. GS here already kind of trading back. I still have BAC calls put up on the radar, but this thing is moving wild today. So give that a second here. NVIDIA here kind of holding down. Yeah,
yields still highs in the morning there.
How the fuck is this Snapchat not fucking done out? Wow. NVIDIA here back to pre-market highs. Or sorry, Bank of America. NVIDIA kind of selling here. Fresh pre-market low.
Yeah, Snap, no sellers there, right? Looks like it. I probably just jinxed it, but no sellers there yesterday either. GPRE, what's this?
Jay, how'd you like that move in Schwab yesterday? Shorts.
We were watching that red to green. It wasn't as bad as people thought it might be that quarter.
Are you in it? Ben, are you in this? Yeah. Thanks for saying something.
Let's get this up. All right. Let's post some active lines.
Which option are you in? What'd you pay? $5 for those? Yeah, less. Wow. These fucking NVIDIA options, man. They went to fucking $11 here. They open up at about 8 here. They're already trading up to 11. But even then, man, the premium here. It's fucking wild. So you kind of got some rotation into oil and banks. JPM is up. Bank of America is up. GS is up. GS now trading about 315. Very interesting move on the GS. But again, this thing is super illiquid, and I wouldn't play this thing. Let's keep an eye on the NVIDIA. 435. Let me know if you see any NVIDIA puts come off here.
Okay. Dow seems to be outperforming again early on. Dow only 70. Dow outperformed yesterday, had a big day.
Yep.
More from the Bank of America call. The CFO saying they expect future loan growth to be in the low single digits.
Future loan growth.
Yeah, Bank of America the CEO mentioned this morning, he's supposedly known to have a good gauge on the consumer, all the checking accounts all in there. He's starting to see a slowdown in the consumer.
And you holding some?
NVIDIA puts October 430s just got swept.
Somebody just bought 430s. Take a look at this fucking Lululemon, bro. Hit 419.
430s are expensive.
Bro, it's all over the place.
493. 493 just paid. I think October 400 just got swept through there. Yep. 60 cents, the October 400s.
400s. Where was the price?
Credit looking too hot this morning,
Autos.
obviously.
A flop here on that Lululemon a little bit. Let's pull back up that Bank of America. Videotape still got a seller. GME is actually up today. Piece of shit.
Wait, VFC or VFS? I think the my guy put the wrong ticker.
Yep. We got NVIDIA puts here on the Momo scanner. So the NVIDIA puts here are on the Momo scanner here. So that's on the radar. So it hasn't issued yet. If we continue to see more flow on the NVIDIA put, then it'll pop up to an active signal. If it pops up to an active signal, it goes here. We're going to take a look at this. Here on the NVIDIA. It's trapped. Do not get caught trading the banks right now. They are all over the place. Let's try to zero in on some NVIDIA here.
So VFC, you got some weekly 17 and 17 and a half active off that headline. Oh shit! I still have this thing up. God damn it! I keep forgetting that.
I pulled up the 435 options on the NVIDIA here just in case. Well, actually, let's make it the 430s. All right. Are you going to add more here? All right, I'm just going to get in with a one lot here just to fuck around with it. Okay, SPY here looks like it wants to retrace maybe some of the pre-market activity. We'll see. We'll see if it actually does. I only bought a one lot of that NVIDIA here, so. Think he's talking about that Schwab here. Schwab was super, super strong yesterday. And if you look at it today, here it's about 53, still holding a good amount of the gains here from yesterday. If you take a look at the Netflix, holding here for the Netflix. NVIDIA, nice pop on the NVIDIA. That's why I only bought a one lot.
Right, and then there are hiring 1,800 additional technicians. Expansion. Victor Zillan.
That's why I only bought a one lot. So far, just kind of chilling here. Somebody said IWM is bid. Let's take a look at IWM. A guy here next to me. Yeah, IWM is bid. Check out IWM. That might help you.
Yeah, I see that.
All righty.
Be nice if I also saw them sweeping small cap names, but yeah.
Snap is actually up. Like, it's kind of wild, man. Kind of wild.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, yesterday definitely looked unusual on that name, right? It looks strong. But yeah, this thing's been plastered. You know what I mean? This thing doesn't move with markets anymore. Snap. This is a retail name, ROST, a little bull flow.
All right, went ahead and bought 10 lot here of the NVIDIA. I'm in the 430 puts, and I bought 10 of them, and I'm in from $5.60.
Oh, there's your AMC March sweep.
AMC March, eh? I mean, if we can't really break down here, chances are they'll kind of just hold this for a little bit and not do anything. I'm also watching some of the oil names here that are kind of going higher. Yeah, you got Google and Amazon just looking meh. But again, do you really have sellers beyond just this quick panic shit? I don't know. So far, NVIDIA looks meh. buy fresh eyes. Long day here. Let's take a look at Snapchat. Snapchat back to 967. Honestly, fuck, man. I like this thing to go back to $10. If this market can go higher, I like this thing to go back to $10. Sounds crazy.
Are these the CCJ missiles? Ukraine fires ATACMS missile at Russian forces.
Ukraine fires AT.
Are those the uranium missiles?
At Russia.
So depleted uranium in ammunition, they kind of did away with after the first Gulf War. It's incredibly destructive, but the after effects environmentally are really nasty. So
and what, they allow it now again?
I don't know if they allow it now again. I mean, as far as I know, when I was in, they after the Gulf War, they did away with it because guys were getting sick.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I could understand why. Yeah, something there. The uranium's going into some missile or something. That's the story. You got CCJ actually popped here. I don't know if it's popping off those missiles getting fired. What a world, huh? What a world we live in. Uranium missiles firing and CCJ catching a pop. I could be talking out of my ass. I have no idea, but I saw a headline that uranium was in some missile.
Just carry on with your ass talk.
General Motors seen the report that U.S. Auto Safety Agency investigating cruises, self-driving cars over pedestrian risk.
Let me know if you see more RH.
Okay, yeah. Appropriate caution around pedestrians.
Appropriate caution around pedestrians. This shit sounds crazy. By the way, guys, all that action here in the pre-market, sometimes they like to just smooth it out a little bit, get you frustrated on direction here before they actually break down, break up, figure out what they want to do. Everybody's trying to bet if we continue down or we cover back into the gap. Let this stuff come to you versus...
A firm was seeing some call buying, but now also seeing some put buying. So probably earnings position in there.
All right. Did NVIDIA ever come back off the Momo scanner? No, it's not an active signal yet. Ben, what'd you say? I'm short.
A couple of these underbelly names acting okay this morning. Shop, green.
Yeah. Shop is green? Get the fuck out of here. How?
The underbelly names are outperforming. SMMT, this is a cheap little biotech, I think. Seeing some action for you little guy players over there. SMMT.
Yo, you're right. Like CVNA, Spotify, ENPH, First Solar. There's a good amount of names green right now. Let's pull back on this NVIDIA here. We got a 20 line here going. It's just not looking that bad. Where are we going? What's the target here we're going for? You're going for 430? Probably should have got more of these. I'm going to cover half. I got 10 left. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the Arcane's green. Here comes another flush on SPY. 10-year bond going up. Market may go down. That's what Java is saying. Mocha frat.
Yeah. Yields at highs, VIX at highs. Credit spreads look awful again.
My man, do you really drink that Java Mocha frap, bro? You're gonna die. You're gonna die, son. You're gonna need that Ozempic. You're gonna need that Ozempic, son.
Speaking of that, how is the fat trade looking today?
I don't know, but these defense stocks are going up. They look like they broke out. So if you take a look at the charts on LMT, and if you take a look at the charts on these defense stocks here, they're looking pretty good. By the way, Boeing. Check out your Boeing, Ben. That shit ain't no short yet. But let's take it to him soon. I'm gonna cover the rest of my Nvidias here. That was a good trade. I should have got more. I should have got more. I think you're right. This tape is showing no signs of slowing down. Take a look at the tape on Nvidia here. This fucking sellers. Look at the option here. I bought it at 5 here, coming out 7.5. It's a nice trade. XOM, meanwhile, he's looking fucking good. Yes, and some of the banks here are just doing nothing. But yeah, if we take a walk around the club here, this XOM is
around the club.
Not bad. 430 broke 430 on the Nvidia. Somebody's coming out of this.
So you get the NASDAQ futures down 200. The Dow's ready to go green.
Yep. It's such a shit show right now. It's like such opposite forces right now.
Yeah, and what's interesting about that, and I don't like to read too much into it, as most of you know, but you got commercial hedgers, which are actually long Dow futures. They're
nice trade,
overall, but Dow futures is the part of their long exposure, so they're looking for outperformance there.
Let's go, bro. $5 to 9 on this fucking 430. Let's go, Ben. Nice fucking trade. That's it. You're done for the day, bro. Go to the beach. You ain't gonna do it because you a fucking punk.
Some buying in IBM. November 145s.
IBM November 145s.
Oh, IBM has come in off those highs a good amount. They report this month 27th, 25th.
Bank of America CFO repeating that they do have a good investment banking pipeline on their conference call.
Yeah, man. Because it's moving, bro. It's fucking moving. You picked the right time for it. Nice call. Nice call. I didn't capitalize as much as I could have. That was a big trade, bro. That was a big trade. I got in late, too. But it still gave me 60, 70% on the option. So we can bitch about being late. Once you have something that's moving, it doesn't matter if you're late. It doesn't matter. Now, if you miss this, I don't think there's going to be much meat left on the bone here, but that was a fucking good trade, man. Christian is saying y'all don't feel grimy as fuck playing defense names. Son, you shouldn't be a trader.
For real.
You shouldn't be a trader.
For real.
You know? You're very exogenistic, Christian.
Exogenistic.
You know, don't be exogenistic, bro.
Gold a little pop here.
Dimitri here is talking Lulu because remember he's short the calls. How are you looking on those calls that you shorted, by the way? Can you give us somebody bought the 425s on that Nvidia here? Jesus, can you pull up the? Let's see if that popped up on the Momo scanner. It looks like it's an active signal now, but
what do you want? What do you want me to do?
No, we got the Nvidia up on the active signal here. What's the reference price on that active signal there for Nvidia?
What does it say? 429. 68. 429.68.
429.68. Guys, see if you can get a cheaper price on that. I mean, you're kind of late, but as we said, if there's sellers in this thing, maybe they just keep dumping it, man. Maybe they just keep dumping it. You know, let's see if we can get a pop, and then let's see if we can hop back in here. SPY doesn't look that hot, you know.
And then you got a firm seeing some put buying. Yields at highs of the morning. VIX at highs of the morning.
VIX at highs. See it, bro. Still got sellers. How the fuck aren't they selling this Snapchat, man? It's ugly. It's ugly. Let's just roll with it, man. I bought another 10 just to fuck around. Let's see if we get another fresh low. Fresh lows right now on the Nvidia. So again, guys, what the Momo scanner does basically is just when you get consecutive flow in a certain name. So in this case, NVIDIA on the put side, if you keep seeing it, it's good momentum. So you kind of go with the momentum.
You got a little more NVIDIA put action there.
So you got more NVIDIA puts here, and they're going for 395s, but they're buying out to November.
SMT, that biotech name, little guy, seeing some more action. SMMT. That's at the high of the morning too.
Still short the puts. Here comes the NVIDIA here. All right, let's move this over. All right, that's what I was looking for on the option. I got $10 on the option on NVIDIA here. I'm going to cover that. That was a nice Momo scan right there. You see what I mean? So, again, you can use our tools here to just kind of shoot scalp, So, I caught a point right there on that option. Probably could have caught more. This thing's going about 10.5. You see the option here. So that's how we can use our some of the tools here in the Steamroom to give you the idea, number one, and give you an idea on the entry. All right. So all we're doing is you're playing the Momo, and again, some of these things will go a lot longer. Look at this, $11 here. That's a quick 10, 20%, 30% scalp right there.
You're listening to Trade
pretty quickly.
News.
And they're fucking coming out of this thing. You're listening. Trade him again, bro. Trade him again, or just sit there and watch.
Yeah, look at a 400 lotto on that NVIDIA. If he's gonna keep going.
Sure. Have you traded anything today?
VMware spokesperson saying they continue to believe
this guy to finish.
With Broadcom will close on October 30th. Victor Michael Whiskey. We have seen weakness in the stock today, potentially on worries that Chinese authorities will not sign off on the deal.
What deal is he talking about?
Is he done? Let me know if it's okay for me to speak.
VIX, more highs.
I kept an eye on this morning. I was keeping an eye on what I spoke about with silvers as far as expected moves. I didn't trade anything because I wanted to see what was going to happen at this spot on SPY. Now, the thing that I was looking for was it to bounce in the spot where they opened it, which it did. So to me, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, okay, there's a lot to what we're talking about. On the other side of the coin, there's NVIDIA. And when we find something like an NVIDIA that's moving, that has, a 2 sigma kind of move, you just keep going with that trade until it stops working. That's what I was saying on the NVIDIA, that 400 area. If you're just going to roll for a lotto, like take some profits and roll to a 400, maybe freaking get lucky. Right. But right now on the SPY, I didn't have anything to start with. So I didn't trade anything.
We're 30 minutes or so into a trading session. Stocks back at the lows of the early session at 5 points in the Dow, 43.39 in the S&P cash, down 34 handles. The Russell 2000 is up 0.5%. On the Nasdaq Composite is down 186 points.
Now, take a look at that option here. Remember, it got up to about $11, now back to about $9 here. So NVIDIA is already bouncing. You know what I mean? Already bouncing. And, that's how you use the Momo scanner. But again, you want to clip it. You want to scalp it. It's momentum. So you get in, you get the fuck out. Let's take a look.
Yeah, CoinDesk caught some late day spec action up nicely this morning. Coin.
Coin? You mean Coinbase, fool?
Yeah, what I call it. Coin.
You say CoinDesk.
They're all the same shit.
Nah, man, those were the motherfuckers that posted the fake news yesterday on the shit, man. They got
They're
everything.
all. Oh, I thought they were the same place.
Nah, man.
They're all bullshit, fugazi shit to me, anyway.
No.
Goldman Sachs CEO commenting.
Raul is saying, it's great to see you guys trade. Would love to be a part of the Steamroom, though. Also wanted to see if you guys offer one-on-one mentoring. You got to come to Puerto Rico for that. We do offer it. I mean, I do offer it here. But again, you got to be ready to come out your pocket, my friend. I don't do that shit for anybody, and if I do, It got to be for somebody who's going to give a shit about it, my friend. You know what I mean? So one-on-one mentoring that shit is going to cost you. All right, I'll send you a landing page though shortly. Actually, Raul, do me a favor. Email me at info@tradespace.us. You got that, Raul? info@tradespace.us.
Goldman CEOs saying that they are hearing softness in consumer businesses from CEOs.
Options are my friends are saying, Lucci, my company is going public and I have a lot of equity. What do I do with it? It depends on what type of shit you got, man. I mean, they might have given you some shit where you got a lockup on it. I don't know.
Yeah, you got to know the rules of what you have first.
Yeah. But if you want me to give you your advice, man, give me 10% of that shit, son.
Put it on the Phillies tomorrow night, minus the run and a half.
What?
The sillies?
What, you got a bet going? Jesus?
No, I'm just saying. The Phillies are winning the World Series this year, so I figured I'd hook them up with a tip.
And taking a look back at that NVIDIA option, you can see now it's about 850. So when you play the Momo, you gotta get in while it's there and get the fuck out while it ain't. You know, that's the key. That is the key to playing Momo, and that's the key to scalping in reality. And by the way, Ron Shera shows you how to scalp really well. I mean, when he's on it. Sometimes.
That's true. I get it wrong. I get it wrong.
All right, SPY here, still breaking down. Remember, I'm short. I'm actually short some calls here.
You know how you chew that piece of gum too long sometimes, and the flavor's gone, and you just keep chewing it? Yeah, that was Netflix for me last week.
Ben, what'd you say? 2:10 a.m. numbers. All right. Let's just do a quick walk around the club here then before these numbers come out. We got about 2 minutes here. If we look at Amazon and Google here, these are obviously the Q names here that are trading pretty weak. Notice now the tape on NVIDIA is changed. You guys can see it. By the way, this is what we teach. How to read this kind of tape. You notice it has changed. If you haven't noticed it, you don't know how to read tape. And if you want to, these are some things that can really help you in picking your spots, going with the momentum, cooling the fuck out when it ain't there. You know what I mean? But these are
understanding where you're going to see that change in tape is a big deal.
Sure, too. And that's where your levels come in. So we have both. We have the team here, kind of cooking you up nicely with the right tools you need. And now you can take a look at the price of that NVIDIA option. It's $8 now. So if you didn't take profits on that, you kind of an asshole. You're kind of an asshole. Anyways, let's take a look at these banks. They tried to rally and couldn't do it. If you notice, they haven't quite sold off yet. This GS is weaker than the others, though.
And August business inventories in just a few seconds.
Let's take a look at that Boeing. Boeing topped out about 188. Kind of interesting. Let's take a look back at that Snapchat here. Snapchat is at highs.
40 for housing market. 40 is 4 points lower than expected. Back month or down 1 to 44. Business inventory 0.4% is 1 tenth higher than expected.
Let's take a look at SPY here to see if these numbers actually mean anything and we give a shit.
Outside of tech, you got some green out there.
Oh, we got Chris Katie in the house. What's going on, Katie? How you doing, man? What you got over there? What are you trading? Picard. Jean-Luc Picard. Back on the radar here, Jesus.
Picard. When do they report Picard? They're coming up, I think.
Thank you, Chris. Always nice when somebody of that tenure agrees with what you're saying.
$10.24. Some silver April coal mine, SLV, April 22 calls. Gold and silver have been really strong. They're going to bump into upside niners. Well, silver might.
I mean, that's such a silver is one of the worst trading vehicles I've ever seen.
Guys, now look at this fucking option. $6.80 now. Nvidia popped 7 points. 7 points here from the low. You know what I'm saying? So that change in tape too lends itself to other opportunities. Oil is definitely trading well.
In the midterm.
Better, I should say. It's one of the only sectors that they're holed up in. By the way, the Snapchat is almost at yesterday's highs. I have no fucking clue why or how, but that one is almost saving me actually. I'm just happy to be break even right now. I got to be honest. Now, who's going to come back in for a reshort on the Nvidia? Anybody want to do it? You ain't going to do it. I got a 10 lot. I got a 10 lot just for a quick flush, and then I'm out of that too. 433 on this SPY.
November 440s. Looks like some bullish earnings positioning in Nvidia with time. What we got here? That's not. Nice 7-point dip in the squeezometer. Back under neutral, 47. Anti-VIX 2 should see a decent wash. You got some bull flow in Cisco this morning, CSCO.
All right, that 10 lot.
Yeah, CSCO.
That 10 lot I bought for the puts on Nvidia here is slowly working here. We'll keep the tape up here. It looks like you got some calls here on the Nvidia now getting picked up here, about $500,000, but out to November. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. Where's that fucking Lulu, man? They picked that thing up again? Nope, 414 on that Lulu. Dimitri, how you doing, man? Yeah, Lulu about to go down the drain. But at least your IVs are coming down, right? So I would imagine you're break even and then some on this already. Nvidia, fresh highs. Option here. You can see tape changed completely. I'm going to add a little bit, maybe at 435. I'm already in it. Just kind of dabbling. I'm going to add. So I got 15. What's the price on VWAP? Not that I give a shit. 434. It'll probably run through it. Calls down 30%. Wow, your calls are still down 30%. That's interesting. Bro, that's going to go flat for you, though, anyway. You already know.
Why would you think Lulu's about to go down the drain? What makes you say that?
Let's take a chart up of that Lulu. By the way, the snap here bumped down about 5-10 cents here.
And define what you mean by down the drain.
Okay, Nvidia had that support at that low from 10.4. Fear, greed looks ready for contrarian long. Man, you guys are active today. Samso, what's going on? How's everybody doing here? Java Mocha Frap. Bro, change that name, son. You're going to kill yourself. You know, you're gonna have to get that Ozempic. Speaking of which, if anybody has extra supply of Ozempic, I will send you an address. I need some to do some market research. Dimitri is saying down the drain equals minor flush, Ron Cheryl.
Okay, got you. Fair enough. Yeah. No, that I can see. I was genuinely curious to see if there was something he was seeing that I was missing.
Okay, guys, tape on NVIDIA here hasn't turned yet. It hasn't turned yet.
SPLV, that's the low vol S&P ETF. SPLV.
Nice move on SPY. Nice move on the spizzies. Nice move on the spizzies. I love it. I love it.
Equity markets pairing losses. The S&P down about 6 cents, 1%. Nasdaq down less than 1%.
Now it's just the fat man names. Now, if they start bidding the fat man names, this market goes up. This market goes back up.
The Swedish Civil Defense Minister now saying that they've received information that a telecoms cable between Estonia and Sweden has been damaged. Earlier, we saw reports that the defense minister was going to be holding a press conference on a new development regarding the critical infrastructure in the ocean. This appears to be the development. Reminder, back on October 10th, we saw Finnish officials discussing an issue with a gas pipeline leak, which at that time said they believed was caused by tampering.
A little rinse in the anti-VIX. Little under neutral. Oh,
Nice fucking SPY move here, guys. Nice SPY move here.
Yesterday's, so you got like a gap fill here on SPY to 434.33, and then you've got a potential. Yesterday's VWAP was 435.5 if they get really crazy.
QQQ opening bull bet on the Qs.
There you go.
QQ bull bet. All they got to do is swoop in here and start bidding this shit. You know, that's all they got to do. I'm gonna take.
Yeah, they're the same guys. Market goes down, they're sweeping puts. Market goes up, they're sweeping calls. You know what I mean? It's like a video game to these guys.
It's like a horse. It's like a
Yeah, but I'm saying it's not. These aren't real position builders.
What was your favorite video game as a kid, Jay?
Baseball Stars.
What platform did that go on?
Baseball Stars. I think it was called Baseball Stars.
Okay. Let's take some comments here. You guys are pretty active here today. I have a good friend that works for Novo Nordisk. He can't even get me any Ozempic. Bro, that's not a good friend then. That's not a good friend then. You know what I'm saying? He's not a good friend. You know what I mean? You need to tell him that and get us some motherfucking Ozempic. Look at fucking SPY, yo.
Yeah, look at that. That CTA short covering into the weakness.
SPY,
obviously, you don't know how aggressive it's going to be. Otherwise,
yes. Silvers was right on top of that.
It's fucking straight up.
And VIX coming in.
Fucking straight up, I went and bought more Snapchat. I bought more.
And you got some more AMC call activity.
AMC call activity, eh?
Hey.
How's that thing doing? Is that thing up? Usually on days like today, random days. JJT is saying, Lou, supposedly Ozempic kills 2/3 of your muscle mass.
2/3 of your muscle mass?
2/3. 2/3 of your muscle mass. Okay, guys, update on the NVIDIA position here. Let's go back to my screen. I shorted the NVIDIA. I'm looking for a break even here. I'm long from about $6. The bid is about $5.60 here. I'm looking for a sweep down and for myself to get the fuck out of this thing.
We got a little squeeze action in that UPST.
Later, Dimitri. Have a great day, bro. I sized up, by the way, on that Snapchat because that thing is actually looking decent. Luke Piero, looks like Luke Piero also went for the Lulu short there too. Above the waist or below the waist muscle mass. Above the waist or below the waist.
Okay, you're at the very bottom of that little gap fill spike on SPY, so keep an eye on it here. And right through. Boom.
We shot right through, right?
Yep, shot right through it.
Where's the banks, man? How are these fucking banks still nothing? No bid on these things, man.
I have no interest in those things.
They don't fucking care about this shit, man.
Yeah, it looks like short covering. A lot of the heavily shorted names bouncing, shit like that.
Aaron is saying a lot of the beaten names are popping today. Yesterday, not my favorite names long term, but they trade for scalps like anything else. All right, guys. Slowing down here a little bit, clearly, but still a lot of action. Still definitely a lot of action out here. If you take a look at oil, by the way, here we just dropped out a little bit on this NVIDIA. I'm still waiting for an exit. And it looks like I'm about to get it here, 434. That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to just take a smaller loss on this, which is only a couple $100.
Sponsor activity been very quiet.
And I'm break even on that NVIDIA there.
Increase in the
so we're good to go.
24 months.
Okay, now the only problem I got is some short calls, which in reality, we might just continue this rally here. We really might just continue this rally here. Maybe. How far out am I?
Why is that keep hitting that button?
All right, snap here almost at high. Still not really. What other names are going up considerably? If you take a look at oil, man. Take a look at fucking oil. Leaning up on that oil. Look at Peloton. Maybe some of the ARC names. ARC here in general. Look at the Roblox. Let's take a look at that. Affirm had a bunch of flow on it. Check out your Affirm here. Nice squeeze in here going on the Affirm. Goldman Sachs, on the other hand, is fucking weak as shit. I wouldn't look at this thing for anything other than a fucking short, but even then I wouldn't even do it. Shop and Melly are dead more or less.
Get some more Amazon bull flow. December in the monies.
Yeah, take a look at Tesla here. They're buying it right back. You know, they're buying it right back. The Amazon, they're buying it right back. So it's almost like this whole shit doesn't even fucking matter here. It's almost like this whole shit does not fucking matter. Just saying. Just saying. Just saying. All right, as we slow down here. Oh, damn. Check out the TPST. TPST, $8. $8 here on the TPST. It's back to doing that same thing that it was that first day.
Going 40.
Going to 40.
Oh, boy.
A little more bull flow in the gold miner ETF. Gold miners having a nice day again today. Looking to break out on the gold miners, but you might run into a little rest upside liner coming up. Oh, that's the miner breakout. Gold miners are so overdue for a big move. Well, guys, flow-wise, nothing really too exciting. Again, you're going to have call sweepers when you get bounces and some put sweepers when the market's selling off. That's just normal behavior. But as far as any realistic action out there on the buy side, there's not a whole lot. IBM, some bull flow. A couple of spec names. You have a little biotech, SMMT, whatever the fuck that thing is. Bullish positioning in Amazon again. Some deep in the money call buying for earnings. Just buyers aren't excited about a whole lot outside of the next 5 minutes.
Somebody just called out the Pepsi.
Pepsi.
Let's take a look at the chart on the Pepsi. Yeah, Pepsi here.
It's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Chilling.
Yes, sir. All right, 10 minutes left, and we're about to go into the Steamroom.
We'll continue to buy back stock.
Is it buying back stock on what?
Goldman.
Goldman?
Goldman.
For real?
Yeah, they've been buying back stock since you're in diapers.
This stock is getting murdered right now, though.
Is it? Earl Fucking
murdered right now.
Down 6.
Getting legit murdered. Anyways, guys, about to go into the steam room here. Remember, you guys have the trial version for $8. Honestly, I can't even explain how much fucking value this is. You got me reading tape for you. Ron's giving you levels. Jesus calling out flow. What the fuck is wrong with you? Get your ass in the fucking steam room. If you're sitting there on the fence, literally, come on. Don't be a herb. Do not be a fucking herb. The video already trading back up to 437. Norris, you cut to this thing too quickly, man. We got 10 minutes left, man. Cut back. Stop being a herb. Spy here kind of stalling out here at 434 and change. So you got the program up. Now let's see what they do. Let's see if they fade it all back. Let's see if they fade it all back or they hold it. If they hold it, you know, this could get interesting. Remember, it's only 10:30. We got a ton of day left. And that's another reason here to move into the steam room here, because on big range trading days, there's opportunities all day. Just got to stay in the pocket. Let's take a look at Amazon and all this kind of other stuff.
For Forward Air, FWRD seeing some volume come into the name on a press report that Ancora has taken a stake.
Corva.
Pregnant Whiskey Romeo Delta.
I have not traded yet this morning. Somebody's asking me where the P&L is. So I'm sitting, the account's sitting at 38K right now.
Yeah, so we'll pull that up.
It's still doubled. I haven't traded. The reason I haven't traded today is after my conversation with Silvers on Friday, And what I was looking for, I just don't immediately run in and trade something. I'm a trader. I'm suspicious. I don't just run up and try shit. So I wanted to watch and see what I learned over the weekend. The shit it's uncanny how well it works. So part of trading is not taking a trade. That's also a trade. And there are times when you got to do that. That was definitely this morning for me, because I can tell you where my head wanted to go and what I learned was telling me to not do. So I was in the right frame of mind for that.
Sweet. Update here on my Snapchat here. It looks like it just kind of failed. So Snap, but you guys got to take a look at this TPST. TPST is hot. Is hot. Snapchat here failed. This TPST is fucking raging. $9 here on the TPST.
Going 40.
Woo!
$9 going to 40.
Wow.
Jay, how much of that you get?
Say again?
How much of that TPST you got?
Oh, I loaded up behind the scenes. I bought the dip. A couple 100,000 shares.
Come on, man.
Going to 40. That's my ticket. Qualcomm looks like some bullish earnings positioning there. December 115s.
Okay, I went ahead and flipped. I shorted puts here instead. I'm also long a couple of calls. I also have the long calls that I had from yesterday. Hopefully I make some money back there. And then this snap is just kind of fucking killing me here. So let me just get out of this snap, take the loss here on the Snapchat. 435 on SPY. 435 on SPY. That's another fucking fake out. Another fucking fake out on SPY.
Hammered shorts. Hammered them.
First big bar up after the first three. Wow. You know, that's another fucking fuck you. What? Yeah, I caught some of it. I'm still holding the long side of my SPX short call right, and that's actually making some money back for me.
Here's SPY to yesterday's VWAP, almost to the penny.
All right, guys, 6 minutes left. Any other questions? Anything you guys want to ask us? Anything you guys want to talk about before we move into the Steam Room? Any questions here about the Steam Room that we can answer for you if you're still on the fence and you're a fucking herb and you can't pay the $8 to just get a trial? Schwab here, 52.5 on the Schwab. If you scroll back to some of these banks here, they're doing absolutely nothing. The Meta's green now again, though, which is saying a lot. You know, that's saying a lot. You know, and overall, for NVIDIA to hit fucking 424 and bounce back 15 points, I don't think this thing is done, man. I think you float this thing up to about 440 as long as the market permits, you know, which is a whole nother story. We could flip on a dime here in this market. And not only that, you could have a tape bomb at any minute. Kramis is paying today. Norris, let's put that up on the screen. Kramis, round of applause here for Kramis. He's choosing to not be a herb. How about the rest? How about the rest of you? How about the fucking rest of you? Ronchero, are you going over silver strategy in the TTP room after we switch? That's Skurmali. Are you?
I'll go over it in the Steam Room.
Yeah. Kramis is saying, can you send me the link? I'm currently a private Twitter member. I can get the offer. Kramis, you still kind of are a herb, though, because the link is on your fucking screen, and it's been on there for a while. But, yes, you can get the offer. Can he get the offer? Can he get the offer? Guys, can he get the offer? We should give it to him. But he's in the private Twitter, though. He's in the private
Twitter. There's no private Twitter. Oh, the former private Twitter.
The former private Twitter.
AZN, some more buying. AstraZeneca, saw some buying yesterday. Big Pharma.
So who has the fat drugs right now? It's Novo Nordisk, Eli Lilly.
Eli Lilly.
And who else has it?
Good question.
And then there was that article that talked about all of the other downstream implications, and we've already seen it, right? Pepsi, McDonald's, Coke,
Sure.
on and on. So I'm curious, and the number that those guys are throwing around for what the potential market share is for these drugs is huge. I mean, I don't know where that number compared to what the price of the stock is trading at. That's that fundamental shit that I don't get into. But to me, it seems like there's more upside to just that trade in general. The downside on some of those other, like Pepsi and stuff like that, that shit's going to come back at some point. They're not going to keep those things down as much as they've sold them off forever. I mean, McDonald's is more of a real estate play than it is fucking French fries. Crackheads ain't gonna stop drinking Pepsi.
IBM, like most, have flipped green here.
So J&J, who else has got a fat drug?
Yeah, in the steam room here is talking about that GS. The GS looks bad. This GS looks bad, bro. Bad. Meanwhile, the JPM can't sell, the Citigroup can't really sell, and the Wells Fargo can't really sell. So it's even decorrelation among the banks inside of the sector, right? Meanwhile, Schwab here is coming back. You know,
I mean, Goldman, they're selling Goldman off on a good number.
mm-hmm.
It's suspicious, don't you think?
It wasn't a good number, though. It wasn't a good number.
Okay, fair. It was a beat, but what was the, like, was there something that they said?
I don't know. Let me take a look here. Goldman's profit decline. Here, let's take a look. Third quarter profits of Goldman Sachs fell as the Wall Street giant continued its costly retreat from consumer banking. Its earnings were $2.06 billion, down 33% from $3 billion. That result was affected by a $500 million write-down on Green Sky, some fucking deal. There were some positives. Earnings were up 69% when compared to the second quarter, a period when Goldman reported his lowest quarterly profits, blah, blah, blah.
There literally hasn't been an opening sweep yet this morning. Over 80 grand out of it.
Goldman helped a prominent number of companies, including Arm and Instacart, go public. We know that. Also expect a continued recovery in capital markets. Fixed income trading revenues were also up 25% from the second quarter. Equities trading was flat compared with the second quarter and up 8% from a year ago. So whatever the fuck all that means.
The dollar index back towards the lows of the session, 106.15.
All right, guys, we're going to move into the other room. Congrats on a couple of you who decided to move into the steam room with us. If you haven't, stay here. Stay here. Stay here and be here. You know, there's only so much we can do. And listen, if you get a supply of Ozempic, yo, I'm doing all this shit for free for your goofy ass, man. The least you can do is get me some Ozempic.
Is there a high off that drug too, or it's just you lose weight?
I don't know.
Nah.
I don't know. Take care, everybody. We'll see you in the room.
Later.